Where was I in 9/11? September 11, 2001 was a day that changed the world forever. And I've had a few questions in the comment section. Did I serve in 9/11? I'm here to share my story. On that day, I was actually in high school. Just remember, guys, this happened in 2001, and in 2003 was when I became an EMT. In 2001, I remember around 9 a.m. in the morning, I was in the hallway cutting class, smoking, lost, like completely lost. At this point, I was already in the gang. I was already carrying weapons, and I was just pretty much going to school, preparing for enemies to find me outside so I could defend myself or to hurt them. And I was very seldomly sober. I was always under the influence of something. And when the plane hit the tower, because the world like the World Trade Center was something that you could see from almost every single part of New York. And I was in Queens, which is very close to where they are. So you could see them at a distance. And I remember looking outside the high school window, Flushing High School to be exact. And this was after I got kicked out of aviation high school. And I saw a plane hit well, I didn't see the plane the moment of impact, but I saw because everyone was like, yo, somebody crashed into the towers. And I remember I was intoxicated and I found it kind of ridiculous that a plane driver was such a bad driver that he crashed into the towers. And we were like, yo, what the hell? This guy is probably less sober than we were, is something that I was saying, something that I was thinking. But then very, very shortly after, we were directed out of the school. I think I was like 14 or 15 at this time. And they told us to go home because there's an emergency going on. And we started to receive the details over the news. We went to my friend's house and we was watching the news. And what was once seemed like a joke started to turn into reality, a very dark reality at that, because we were watching on the news everything that was going on. We were hearing like weird sounds outside. We started to be really conscious of the fact that, oh snap, New York City's under attack, apparently. And I after that I continued down the path of destruction. As you guys may know, my past is very different from my present. My mom, she ended up deporting me to the Dominican Republic. This is something that happens a lot in the inner city youth, especially when their parents are immigrants, where they send us to our country of origin so we could appreciate what America has to offer. So my mom sent me to the Dominican Republic in hopes that I'll start appreciating the United States more. But when I got there, it was worse. Fast forward a few months after being there, someone tried to kill me. They were shooting at me. I got away, and then I was planning payback, and eventually God touched my life, and He put the idea for me to become an EMT. I became an EMT, and then I started serving as an EMT in the city of New York. And 9/11 was one of the reasons why I started to take being an EMT seriously. I'll explain to you why. Because I'm from the hood. So all I wanted to be an EMT for was job security and to buy a big screen TV and have a steady paycheck. Like from where I'm from, that's the definition of success. Like if you buy a Porsche or you buy a Nissan Maxima, you're killing it with a big screen TV and some kind of job benefit. So that's all I was looking for at the time until I worked with a gentleman named Eric Knapp. Eric was the first 9/11 survivor that I met. And he was my partner. Like he showed me pictures of himself at 9/11 with a banana in his hand. And he was my partner. He was my elder. And he mentored me in a lot of things. We ended up opening up a CPR first aid business. And he mentored me a lot in like, the importance of being an EMT. So I just want to tell you guys, seeing him as a hero was what made me start to value the job as a paramedic, as an EMT, because I respected him. And the only people who are respected are those that go through something and come out stronger on the other side. So he served in 9/11, hence the fact why I respected him. And, you know, the impact of 9/11 in my life, I still feel it. Like, yes, I'm from New York, and that kind of makes you paranoid. But being that you live through these circumstances, I lived and served through COVID as well, when like hospitals had coolers filled with body bags of patients, and there was a national shortage for face masks. And these things, they stick with you, you know. So you got to realize, as an EMT, as a paramedic, you're doing a job that's very high stress, and this day that you go to work may be a day that changes your life forever. And it just started off as a normal day. It happens, whether it's the pediatric arrest or something that you witnessed or something that happened. So just be mindful, man. Your mental health, your physical aptitude is something that you cannot ignore. And another way that 9/11 affected me indirectly was because my brother, um, Staff Sergeant Alex Ramon Jimenez, signed up, motivated by what happened, to the military out of the U.S. Army, or with the U.S. Army, based out of Fort Drum, 10th Mountain Infantry. There was a war that ensued after 9/11, and my brother served in that war. He eventually became a prisoner of war who was later killed in action. So, I just want to take the time to, show respect to all the firefighters, paramedics, police officers, the civilians, everyone who lost their life um, on 9/11, on the day of 9/11. I also want to take time to just show respect to everyone that was affected either directly or indirectly by 9/11. Um, as I'm one of those examples with my brother. And, I just encourage you guys to keep these folks in your prayers. Don't let their sacrifice go to vain. Cherish your freedom. Cherish your freedom. Cherish the fact that we're in the United States of America, the greatest country on earth. Cherish the fact that there's selfless men and women every day working behind the scenes, making sure that everything flows smoothly in this nation. And also, cherish those that they gave the ultimate sacrifice on 9/11, before 9/11, and after 9/11. So to answer your question, there you go. I hope this helps. Peace.